Hey, COVID classroom. I've decided today, no makeup. This is whatever's left from yesterday. And I'm deciding to do something happy, little balloons. So I am using that, you know what I did with the little shopping girls, the shopaholic? I've drawn it out on pens with pencil and erased all the lines with my big eraser. So I know where I'm going to go with the felt pen because I love the look of this and I want to have a series of it on my wall. So I'm being selfish. And I'm doing my own thing. So we're going to start off. I've already drawn it out, and I'm going to show you in felt pen exactly where I drew out. And you can cross your balloons over. So when I have my pencil, which I don't have on me, but I'll pretend I've got one here with my paintbrush. So when I did this first one here, and then I did the second shape, I went right in there and made that nice and round. And then later erased the part that I don't want to paint in that balloon. So go ahead and draw your shapes as circles, inside of circles, over top of circles, and then erase what you don't want. And then we're going to go over with the felt pen. So I'll start off where I started, which is the first main balloon, which was smaller when I first started, because then I put the second one below it and it looks too small. So I had to make it bigger. So I'm just going to start here, scribble away, because you can erase this. You can erase it. So here's the size of my now big balloon. It comes down a little bit narrower towards the bottom, like that. And then I gave it a little sort of a tail. You're going to try to make this as ovally as you can. And then for my second one, I went sort of straight below it. Using my hand as a pivot, that kind of helps, right? And if it helps to turn your canvas as you go so that you keep doing that. So I hold the butt of my hand here right on the canvas and just sort of let my hand do the motions sort of to turn it. So you can do that in any direction. This won't smudge anymore. It dries pretty fast. I just got a fine point Sharpie. And start where you're comfortable to do that arc. So start here and do that arc. And it works like, remember those compasses we had in school? Kind of like that. If you're not good at freehanding, that's a good way to get a nice smooth line. And then down to a tip. And then also give that little fray at the bottom. So there's your two main balloons. This one has a string here. And then I went and I did this circle. So I went all the way around. It went all the way through here. But I'm not going to do that because I can't erase felt pen. So you just have to imagine. You just have to imagine that I followed that circle through when I first did it. There's a little balloon. Let's see, this one went around here. There's a little balloon tucked in here. Where does that one go? I don't really see that one. That balloon's there, but there's a little balloon tucked in here. So this one here came around. Imagine it going all the way around. Do it this way. And then it sort of tucks in behind there somewhere. I want to leave a little gap in there. It's not going to look right. A little off, but that's okay. There's just a little gap of white space that's going to be here. So you'll see when I color the balloons different colors that I'm not going to color this tiny little piece right in here. I'm not going to color that little piece. I didn't tell you what colors we're using. Black, white, and red, guys. That's it. 3 colors. We're going to make black, white, red. Because we're going to make pink. Pink, white, black balloons. All kind of classy. And then for my last balloon, there we go. So quite like that. And this one here I did stripes. So I'm just going to outline the stripes because they're going to be black and white. Nice arc on these things. Because if you did straight lines, this would just look flat. So mine are kind of like a little bit of a smile. Just to give that balloon that feel of roundness. There. What else am I putting on here? The rest I think I can do with paint. Up here I'm going to make this Calvin Klein. So going to make a big C. And then over here, another big C backing it. Just so I know where they are. Okay. And then we're going to draw some strings down. This you might need a ruler for. I don't know. I can freehand. So just saying that there's some lines coming down. I'm going to find this so much easier with felt pen than I am with paint. So that's why I did it with that. You guys can see that. Happy, happy. And then the bow. The bow is kind of complicated if you're just going to go out and paint it. So this one here, you're going to see when I put the black lines in it, they're not going to be all straight. They're going to have like warbles in them. Warbles. And that's just going to make it look like the ribbon's a little bit crinkly. So first of all, you got to get the shape. So starting here, you're just going to start off with some sort of a weird little square. Looks like a piece of toast, actually. Looks like a piece of toast. And then from there, I drew a line sort of up and comes out. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And it's going to come down on an angle. Keep it rounded here. And then bring it back in. So you don't want real sharp lines. A little bit rounded there. And see how the lines are kind of warbly? That's going to look like there's like a little bulge, you know, a little fold in there once the black lines get on. From the bottom, same thing, we're going to start in there. It's going to come up and around. Put that up here for you guys to see. Hopefully it won't slide out. Come up and around. I know bows are kind of hard. That's why we start with pencil and then come down, around, and up. It's looking like a carrot and then down to a point. It. This side, I'm going to bring it up and around, down this way, and that comes down to here. This looks almost like, what do you call that? Candy corn. And so we're going to give this an inside of this ribbon. So I'm going to come off this edge here and bring it in. And that will be the inside. It'll be a whole different color. So it'll look like the underside of the ribbon once we start painting it. This side, I came down from the bottom corner of my toast. Out and around, wave it in, wave it out, wave it in, down to a kind of a point. See that nice little wave? And now we're just going to make it a little thicker at the top. And it's not quite as wavy. It's just sort of swoopy down to there. Okay, got all those shapes. This is going to be so cute when it's painted. We're going to use some highlights and shades to the balloon. So I'm going to start with my lines. Didn't erase very well in here. I'll erase it after and I'll show you that you can erase it even after when you have your felt pen on. Okay, so I'm going to start with have a little bit of a black, see, on there. And then I'm wave it a little bit. Parallel your wave. So come down, depending on how far apart you want these lines to be. Try to keep the wave in sort of the same area. So you've got the wave here, keep the wave continuing because that looks like where there'll be a high ridge over where the ribbon is. And then I'll show you a little secret while we're painting to make that look a little more realistic because it has like a little gray shadow and stuff in there. So it'll look like there's like a little ridge where the thing is, the bump. So here's a bump here. And then it has a couple waves as it gets bigger because it's getting bigger. Keeping my parallels. I am going to have the coolest room one day with all my cutesy little pink, black and white stuff, and my girly girlies, my gray haired ladies, my lady in the coffee. It's going to look so neat. Again, another pucker down here. All the ridges on the same line going through. I'll show you. This one's a really good example because you can really feel this one. So can you see this ridge right here? It's got the same bump here, same bump here. And you can see the path where it looks like there's a fold. So if I put a gray smudge through there, then that's going to look like it dents in there a bit. So on my bow too, I got to give it a couple of little marks. So just throw a couple little lines in there. I'm going to bring this up to the screen here in a second for you guys so that you can pause it and see where my lines are. All right, so there you go. Give it a pause right now. Take a look at those lines. Bring it down, pause it there. You want to see anything? And bring it out. All right, so there's a really good closest shot I can get to you. Okay, there you go. That's all colored in. Now, if there's any pencil lines here that you want to erase them now because they don't paint over very well. But look, I'm erasing off and it doesn't affect my felt pen whatsoever. So if you got any lines left in there, let's get them all off. Especially with the white, because the white will just show through in the pink. And I don't want to see any of those lines, and I can erase it once the paint is on. How does that look? A little bit there. Pretty sure I got it all, guys. All right, there we go. That is your start to this one. So, like I said, red, white, and black. We're going to start off with, let's start off with the white. The white one? So, no, let's start off with pink. Let's start off with pink so you can actually see it. I'm going to use my angle brush. So I'm going to make a nice shade of light pink. We're going to use quite a bit of light pink because we have 3 balloons to paint. So I want to have enough for 3 balloons. Sort of a light to medium pink. We can lighten it up later and we can darken some parts of it. But I don't want it to be too light because we're going to put a white highlight on it. In here where it has a shine and make it look round, and up in here. So if I don't have it dark enough, you are definitely not going to see that. And not to worry if you go over the lines a little bit here onto your felt pen. It won't bleed, and you can always go over the felt pen again after. So just color that in. Doesn't even have to be super neat. It can be messy. I like messy, you know me. But try to be as neat as you can. If you can't get to the edges, use the round brush for the edges first. And then go back. So nice thin layer, make it nice and smooth. Well, it can be messy, but don't have big globs of paint. What I mean is leave it all one thickness so that it all kind of dries at the same speed. Excellent. There's one. And then we're going to do this one up here. I love this style. I don't know why I love it so much. But I know a shop, like a ladies' dress shop, that would commission these from me to hang in their on their walls in Mexico. It's a ladies' fashion store, but down in Cabo, I'm not going there. Smooth that out. And then there's a little pink one. Remember I said there's one tucking away in here? So that is tucking away in here. Don't go over that little end bit of the other one. Oh gosh, guys, look at my hair. I just threw it up today. I don't even care. Doesn't really matter. So, that's really all we're going to do with pink for now. So wash that brush off. The next balloons are going to be white. Yes, I'm putting white on there, even though you can't see it. Even though you can't see it, I'm going to put the white on because I have to give some gray lights to it too. So this one here's going to be white. I'm going to paint right over that CC. No big deal. Can go back over that after with some black. But I want to have white on this balloon. If you want to do white all over your background, you can do that after too. Nothing saying you can't. And a little bit there on the tag. Or the tie, whatever you want to call that one. And then this one here, it's got black and white stripes. So I'm going to do the white part in here. That part in there. Remember where you're doing it, because it just got confusing for me there. Okay, now black. Now black. I guess I could have done the white in the bow too. I didn't get that far. Well, I'm off that color now. I'm off that color. Turn around, get the black. You don't even need a lot of paint for this. So I'm just going to do these black stripes. So I'm still using my angle brush and I'm going in kind of horizontally. You can use your pointed brush if you're afraid that you're going to be too messy or thick. You can hold this on your lap while you do it if that's better for you. Stripe in there. There. Whew. That one. I can see why when we're doing a class when everybody gets quiet, I do the same thing so that I can see better in the car. I turn the radio down so I can see better. Oh boy, it's crazy. So that one's going to be black. Outlining this. Might want to outline this one with your round brush just so you don't make any mistakes. Depending on how steady your hand is. Whew, there we go. Smoothing that out. So I don't want any other lines showing through it. So nice and smooth. Ready? It's coming together, guys. Coming together. And now this one, same deal. Around that balloon very carefully. Around the little tail at the bottom. This way. I can breathe. Scary noodles. Okay, now just a nice thin layer of black. By the time we finish the stripes down the bottom and painting the white in there, this might be dry if it's thin enough. If not, I'll take off and I'll go blow dry it because I want to put polka dots on this one. I want them to be nice and white. Or even pink, I don't know. White or pink. Love it. Love it. Okay. I'm going to take my little brush now because I'm going to do the white stripes at the bottom. And they're pretty small. Ooh, before I do that, I need to do pink in here. Pink inside this bow. Remember I said we're going to see the inside of this bow? So with my little round brush, I'm painting right in that area there, pink. Washed off. Washed off. We're going to go to white. Oh, my brush is dirty. It has black in it. Weird. Okay. Turn my palette around. And some white on my pointy brush. And I'm going to go over all the white areas in this bow. I can't even see it. I'm just assuming I'm doing it. Oh boy, oh boy. And then I'm going to drag some gray before I put the black on, which is kind of, I didn't plan that, but now that I'm right here, it makes more sense. It makes a lot of sense. So while that is still wet, take a little bit of black and make a very light gray, very, very light gray space. I don't know if you can see that. But just where your wrinkle is, I'm going to get you to draw a line down of gray right through everything. Okay, it's through the white, it's through where the black stripes are. See that? So you can like just mess that up a little bit. And then I'll show you when I put the black stripes. Might as well just show you one so you know, and I can carry on, and you can carry on without looking up. Straight black in with my little brush. And then I'm going to go over the black stripes, and you're going to see it looking like a fold. I just did something here too that made it look even rounder. Nice. I'll show you in a second. Over the fold, come down, comes around. What a happy accident. Oh, love it. I learn as I paint still. Even after 10, 12 years, I've been sort of painting a lot. And I'm still learning by accident. It's just crazy. You never stop learning. It's awesome. All right, so here's my happy accident. So as I was painting along, see how you can see it kind of looks like a divot? As I was painting along, I started to curl these bottom ones, give them a little curve at the end, and it just kind of made it look like a thicker ribbon. You see what I mean? Just this little curve at the bottom here. Not so much at the top, you don't see that, but that makes that ribbon look a little thicker. I love it. So remember that on the bottom sides of these, okay? And then just carry on. Start with all your white on each one. Do a gray stripe wherever you've got a ridge, and then cover over in black. So start with the white. Bring this closer. This headband is on too tight. It gives me a headache. Keeps the hair out of my eyes, but it's too small for my big head. I just end up with headaches. So off it goes, and my hair is just going to be crazy. Black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. It's confusing. Don't lose your mark, because otherwise you'll have gray when you go to put the black in. Okay, back to my gray. Just a little bit. My ridge is here, so follow the path. My path kind of goes crooked, but I can see where it is. Swoosh it up a little bit. So my path wasn't a complete straight line. It kind of trailed up here. I'm going to swoosh it up a bit. Alrighty, black. Oh boy. So I'm still doing some little parties at my house live. Anybody that's near me wants to have house parties, I can do them at your place. I can do them at my place. I have one venue in Mission, but I need bubble people to use it. So if you got a bigger group, like a big family or a bunch of friends that are somewhat in the same bubble, I could split you up into groups of 2 5s, 2 6s, and a 4. If you could have bubbles like that, and I can paint with you. Oh, I just love this. I'm loving this. Okay, and back to white. Black, white. I'm going fast, so I am going to paint this one as well. If you're fast enough, you could do that. Courage. Looks so wrong when you do this part. You just mess it all up, but it comes together once you. Oh, it looks so good now. Once it's all painted with the black stripes. Trying to see what my balloons are looking like up there. Adorable. Adorable. I love it. Not quite dry up here. Alright, so we're going to give this thing some lights, some white highlights. So I will be going back to my angle brush and take all the paint off there. I'm going to need some white now. Where are you? I think the last time I used it was black. Yeah. Give that a really good scrub. Get all that black paint out of there. So hopefully my pink is dry now. So I am going to, I need to make a lighter pink. No, I'll make a darker pink. Sorry. So we're going to do like a swipe here, but it's going to be kind of rounded on an angle. A little bit square at the top and then come a little narrower down here. So it's nice and round. But see how it's kind of square-ish, but rounded but square, right? Not completely square. And just, we don't want that to be super duper white, so you can just keep painting it till it disappears a little bit, and then maybe put another little similar mark. But it's really kind of a dry brush, so it fades out. So you can even wipe your paint off your brush, so you don't have any more paint on your brush, and then just sort of brush it out till it just sort of like light and airy. There's no really harsh lines. That's what you can do with that one. We're going to do that also up on this top balloon up here. But this one's going to come here. up on this side from the bottom. Didn't have enough paint on that one. So we want it to be here, and then another one, same, but so it's kind of round. It's going to touch that black, but I just want to make sure I don't have a whole lot of paint on when I do that. So I'm wiping the paint off my brush. Bring this closer, and I'm going to make that disappear a little bit, make that disappear. Wipe paint off my brush, get right down to that other balloon, and I'm going to kind of go up. Just want to make it look like it's coming out from behind that. Make it disappear. If it's too much, we just add a little bit of pink in here, separate those two a little. There we go. Okay, I think I need to put a little more pink on there. I think I took a little bit too much out, so I'm just going to run a little pink back through that. Just bring that in. Okay, so now to make a little bit of a darker shade of pink. A little bit of a darker shade. So take some of that red, move it into your pink just to get a darker shade. I'm so hungry. I don't know why I'm so hungry today. Just had a big salad. Might be it. Okay, so I got a darker shade of pink, and we're going to give it a little bit of another light. So with this one here, I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to come around into that. Rounded. Just so that balloon looks round. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. Maybe just like a little streak like that. You can take the paint off your brush, again, like you just did before with the white. And then you can just sort of into that, just sort of blend it out a little bit, just so that it looks not like a defining line, but it's in there, but it's sort of disappeared. Okay, so we also have to do that down. Down this one. Where am I going to do that? So come around this way. Put some paint on there. And come around and do this side. So follow your balloon around. That's cool. Right at the bottom here. Come around. Sort of streaky. Oh, look at that. That looks great. So I just right messed that up on purpose. Maybe a little bit on this side. Bring that closer so you can see it. It's messy, but it looks really cool. I like it. And then we're going to take just a little bit inside this little pocket. Right in here. Just a little darker right down in there. Still leaving some of the light stuff, but it's still got a little teeny bit of dark in there. I like that. Is this one? Maybe a little dark in that one, just so it looks like it's not all lonely. I did my C's wrong. They're supposed to cross over each other. Huh. I'm not a designer girl, so maybe I'll try painting white over that a little bit. See if I can get rid of some of that blackness. It's hard to cover up the black felt pen. Try maybe a couple coats. Go over it later. Maybe you won't notice it so much. Maybe it'll just look like a shadow. Okay, there we go. Now, for this one here, we're going to take some of the gray. Just a little bit of gray, like super light. I'm even lightening it up from what it was at the bottom. And I'm going to do a little bit of gray coming through here. Just on that side. Just a little, like a half moon here. I'm going to do it too dark. I don't know if you guys can see that. Very little. Okay, but then we're going to do white shining on the black part. So clean that off. Gonna go to white. Don't need a whole lot of white on your brush. So put the white on your brush like this, but wipe it off just so it's not a big blob, but it's on there. Okay. And then we're going to sort of like a half circle line on this black. So just tapping here, tapping here, tapping here. So that it's starting to look like it comes around. So it kind of looks like it shines through there a little bit, right? Well, you got the white, you might as well give this guy a little half circle streak. Really light airbrushing, dry brushing. Do I like that? I don't know if I like that. Maybe a little whiter in parts. So it's really lightly dry brushed out. Maybe just give it a little, oops, that's too much paint. Give it a little bit of real bright smear in there. So it's got some brushed out, but then go over it with something a little bit darker. And let it sit. But always kind of like halfway. And this one here, I'm just going to give it a shade of gray. Like a grayness circle right in here. So just real light. That's where the light would hit this one. Barely going to be able to see this. It's going to be weird in a second, but it's going to be super light. You can see it. I can see it. You see that? Then when I put polka dots on this, that's going to look like a shadow underneath where it had been highlighted. It's the plan. Okay. Now back to my little round brush, because I have to redo those C's because they're just not right. Take all the paint off your round brush. I'm going to do this C freehand. This is freaking me out. It's so much easier with a felt pen. But it's okay to be messy. It's okay to be messy. Okay, and because I painted that white, it's gray right now. And then this one, try to have it the same size. And it crosses through. Yeah. That's better. Now adjust. Now adjust. I don't even mind that it's messy because it looks kind of funky. Hold your breath. It ain't perfect, but it's not ugly. I like it. Okay, now for polka dots. If you want, you can just use the back end of, I have the big brush here. So my bigger brush, it has a bigger butt end on it. You can take that, go straight into, and I want these polka dots to be really uniform. So you start somewhere. Oh yeah. And don't put them too close together. But keep them uniform in distance. And then on the way back up, I'm going to go to the center, that one, farther away. Center now. It'll all make sense once it's all on there. It'll look good. Maybe I'm going to see one up there. Maybe I'm going to see a half one here. Half one there. Kind of wanted it to be like slightly perfect, but it's hard for me. I don't do anything really neat. I'm messy. But you guys will see where I'm getting with this one. Ah, very close. Very close. I'm very proud of that. Yes. Now you see that grayness underneath there? Something you can't do after you put those, that gray. Something after you put the polka dots on, you can't go back and fix that. You just can't. It won't happen. So once this dries, guys, if there is where you've got paint over top, you can wait till this is dry, and then with a Sharpie, wherever I put my Sharpie, where did I put that? You can go over those lines, but wait till it's dry because this will wreck your Sharpie. So don't do that. And there you go. Painting done. Messy hair, I don't care. Got my designer painting. I'm pretty stinking happy with it. My C's are a little off, but my reflections and my little waves in the ribbon are fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't be afraid to not have makeup on. Scary hair. Okay. I'm going so gray. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe a butterfly. Yeah, I think a butterfly. Okay, later. Bye. I say goodbye.